Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNally Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we've got a really exciting one for you, a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company by the name of RenovoRx. They're focused on hard to treat cancer therapies, and I'm really excited to talk about this one for a number of reasons we're going to lay out in today's presentation. Now before we get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNally Money, feel free to join. And let me know in the comments section below if you're currently holding shares of RenovoRx, if you've heard about this company before, and your outlook for this organization moving into next year. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at RenovoRx Incorporated, trades on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol RNXT. Now this is a company we explored about 7 months ago on the channel. They've had a lot of developments over the past few quarters, and I wanted to really do a deep dive analysis into their business and some of their platforms as they continue to progress along their pipeline of development. Now, in terms of share price, this is as of Monday, November 6th. You can see they're having a nice day with RenovoRx up about 4.5% or about 5 cents US to a current share price of $1.20. And similar to many of the companies really in the market in general, over the past 6 months, RenovoRx has been downtrending, which may be presenting a great buying opportunity if you're looking for exposure to the biopharmaceutical or biotech space. Now, I'll leave the company website linked in the video description below if you want to go in and take a closer look for yourself. But since it's been a while since our last coverage, I wanted to do a high-level analysis of what this organization is all about, and then we're going to jump into the updated investor presentation and take a deeper look at RenovoRx. So in terms of the About Us section here, this is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company with a vision to disrupt the current paradigm of cancer treatment. So super important work this organization is doing. My father-in-law unfortunately passed away from cancer last Christmas, and almost everyone I know, and really everyone in the general public, at least knows somebody who's been affected by the grip of cancer. So I always like to relate it back to the underlying patients here or the people that may benefit from a lot of this research, development, and technology. Now, the company's mission is to lead a revolution in oncology therapy by delivering its innovative and targeted IA delivery of chemotherapy directly to solid tumors. And we're going to look at that in more detail later on here. The RenovoTamp platform, which stands for RenovoRx Transarterial Microperfusion Therapy, is being investigated to avoid the harsh side effects typical of the current standard of care, improving patient well-being and extension of life so more time can be enjoyed with loved ones, which is ultimately what every cancer patient is eventually hoping for. Now, RenovoTamp is a targeted therapy platform that utilizes already approved chemotherapeutics with validated mechanisms of action and well-established safety and side effect profiles. So the goal here is to increase their efficacy, improve their safety, and widen their therapeutic window for potential patients. RenovoRx lead product candidate, RenovoGem, which we talked about in our prior coverage, is a combination of gemcitabine and its patented delivery system, is regulated by the FDA as a novel oncology drug product to treat unresectable locally advanced pancreatic cancer, also known as LAPC. So it's really a combination of RenovoTamp as the delivery model with RenovoGem, which delivers that targeted therapy on the RenovoTamp platform safely and without transmission to non-targeted areas, which is ultimately the primary focus of this organization or RenovoRx. Now, in terms of IP, the company has a robust patent portfolio, which includes 8 US patents, 1 European patent, with several additional patents pending in the United States, Europe, and Asia, and some impressive clinical trial results, which demonstrated a median survival window or length of just shy of 28 months. So if you compare that to the historical studies for these type of patients, which on average live around 12 to 15 additional months, it's a significant extension of life for people suffering with this type of cancer. And again, I would encourage you guys to take a look at the website for yourself, especially if you're looking to make an investment here, because there is a lot of additional detail. Now, moving into the updated investor presentation, this was put out in September of this year. So as mentioned, a lot of updates from our prior coverage. With their last private financing round held in 2018, they're developing that proprietary targeted combination therapy using their TAMP platform, or again, transarterial microperfusion. They've got that pivotal phase 3 TIGeR-PaC study, which includes overall survival and progression-free survival and a 65% reduction in side effects. And that's really where we're going to spend some time in today's presentation. They've got that FDA orphan drug designation granted for RenovoGem. So that's the one we just talked about in relation to pancreatic and bile duct cancer. And they estimate this to be a $1 billion global market opportunity in terms of their primary indication and additional opportunities down the road as they continue to expand their pipeline platform. Now, as you'll see on the cover slide of this updated investor presentation, they specifically call out their lead program, which is in their pivotal phase 3 clinical trial for pancreatic cancer, after demonstrating those exciting results in phase 1 and 2 as we saw on the company website. So again, this is where I really want to spend some time because these are new current developments that can act as a major catalyst for these biotech type of companies. So in terms of the pipeline highlights, and remember this deck was put together back in September, under first 2 registration opportunities, they've got their locally advanced pancreatic cancer, LAPC, and the bile duct cancer. They've had positive interim data reported from that randomized phase 3 trial, again the TIGeR-PaC or TIGeR-PaC. First interim analysis was presented at the AACR and ESMO GI events this year. And under the key data highlights, you can see a 6-month improvement in median OS or overall survival rates, an 8-month improvement in overall progression-free survival, and a 65% reduction or greater than 65% reduction in side effects versus existing standard of care or the control group. So the next steps here are going to be the second interim analysis, which is estimated towards year-end 2024. However, this could potentially line them up for early approval if we continue to see positive second interim results. And as I mentioned on the last slide, this has already been granted US FDA orphan drug designation, which means a 7 years of market exclusivity post-approval. So again, a potentially massive catalyst for RenovoRx. Now the next slide talks about the RenovoGem lead indication, again for LAPC. The other thing I wanted to call out here as it relates to the FDA is only 3 drugs have been approved to treat LAPC within the past 10 years, so it's not like these drugs are coming all the time. And in terms of the total addressable market worldwide, you can see just about 500,000 new cases are discovered each year, with 30% of patients being described as locally advanced at presentation. So as a result, LAPC is soon to be named the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States, which again, unfortunately equates to about 48,000 lives each and every year. Now, the other thing I found super interesting in this deck is all 3 of these prior FDA approvals, which are named here, in the past 10 years, had under 2 months of median overall survival benefit and actually increased toxicity rates in patients. So compared to what RenovoRx is potentially bringing to market, a drastic difference, not only in the length of survival, but in some of these other side effects or concerns like toxicity that are present in other solutions. And that really leads us to this slide here, which states based on independent interviews, oncologists are likely to adopt RenovoGem if it can provide in the range of about 4-month overall survival benefit and toxicity improvements are met. So a very well differentiated product that is head and shoulders above the existing options available to these patients. So it's obvious there's a demand for this type of solution. Hundreds of thousands of people are being diagnosed. Tens of thousands of people are dying each and every year just in the United States alone. But it really does depend on this pivotal phase 3 data and trial as a whole. And that's why the investment community is closely monitoring these results. So again, in their first interim analysis, they observed a 6-month median overall survival or OS benefit. And again, keep in mind, oncologists are likely to recommend this product if they're able to achieve anything around the 4-month plus mark. And you can then see the breakdown of the RenovoGem versus the control arm of the actual study. And they then go on to give some additional information about the phase 3 first interim analysis here, which again, I would encourage you guys to go in and take a closer look at. Now, as if that phase 3 activity wasn't enough to get you excited about Renovo RX. You can see that's their lead product candidate in that critical phase 3 stage. They've also got bile duct cancer they're looking at, neoadjunctive pancreatic cancer, which is in the preclinical stage and expected to start phase 1/phase 2 studies next year. They're looking at lung cancer solutions in their preclinical stage as well, uterine tumors, and glioblastoma. So again, a diversified pipeline to help a variety of different patients. Now on top of that, they've also got their TAMP platform itself, which is that proprietary therapy, which is focused on finding a solution or enabling technology for therapeutic delivery in solid tumors. And you can see it's really for these hypovascular tumors, which have major barriers to traditional chemotherapy treatment success, as you can see are disconnected, or as they refer to here, as vessel isolation. So the TAMP platform itself improves a drug's therapeutic index, resulting in higher efficacy or amounts of the drugs being delivered to the pathological site and less systemic exposure or increased overall safety. So what that ultimately means for both patients and physicians is fewer hospital clinical visits needed for patients, an easy to learn and quick procedure for radiologists or oncologists, and in either group, whether you're talking patient or clinician, an improved overall experience in an already very troublesome or difficult situation. So in summary here, you guys, or in terms of the highlights with this investment opportunity, you've got the TAMP platform, which is reducing side effects and increasing tumor penetration. You've got RenovoGem, which is targeting locally advanced solid tumors, as we just talked about, with pancreatic cancer alone representing a $1 billion addressable market. You've got their lead product candidate, RenovoGem, which we discussed, showing extremely exciting progress in that phase 3 Tiger-PAC study, and the benefits listed there as we talked about. The fact that their TAMP pipeline, which is that novel therapy platform, has the potential to be compatible with multiple potential targets, and the exciting intellectual property portfolio with those patents that we discussed in the intro, and the fact that this TAMP platform has been granted that orphan drug designation, resulting in 7 years of market exclusivity for RenovoGem upon approval for both pancreatic and bile duct cancer. Not to mention an extremely experienced and well-connected management team, which we're going to try and get on the channel for a CEO interview or Q&A in about a month's time to provide a follow-up. So for those reasons, you guys, this is definitely one that caught my attention. I'd encourage you to take a look and do some research for yourself if you're looking for exposure to the biotech or biotherapeutic sector. There's a number of upcoming milestones or catalysts on the horizon, which we'll talk about again in that CEO Q&A. But if you're still watching the video at this point, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, specifically if you're already holding shares of Renovo RX. If you're not already part of the community, McNally Money, feel free to join. We'd love to have you. That's all for now, and we'll see you in the next video.